Uh, Obviously, I've heard of it. I've seen it on television. I think it expresses the frustrations that the American people feel, that we had the biggest financial crisis since the Great Depression, huge collateral damage all throughout the country. So yes, I think people are frustrated, and the protesters are giving voice to a more broad-based frustration about how our financial system works.
Some of the frustration has come out in this Occupy Wall Street protests. You've expressed sympathy with their position, their feeling of powerlessness.
I understand the frustrations that are being expressed in those protests. In some ways, they're not that different from some of the protests that we saw coming from the Tea Party. Both on the left and the right. I think people feel separated from their government.
And God bless them for their spontaneity. It's an independent people coming. It's young, it's spontaneous, it's focused, and it's going to be effective.
I have concerns about some of the language that is being used, because I saw this myself in the late 70s in San Francisco. This kind of rhetoric was very frightening, and it created a climate in which violence took place.
Increasingly, there is a sense that it's getting angrier. There is violence on both sides. Is this where you want to see these protests go? What is your view when you see what's happening in places like Oakland? It's potentially dangerous.
There's no violence coming from the Occupy protesters. This is a nonviolent, peaceful group.
Did you see people throwing bottles and rocks at the police before they used those tactics?
Yeah. Yes, people were doing that.
It's a violent country. It's a violent government. It's killing people. And they're going to call us violent if we break a window. But they will do that. So probably, unless you have good reason for breaking the window, probably you shouldn't do that. Unless it's, a big part of your strategy.
There's sexual assault going on. We're trying to deal with that. I've seen it. Mostly drunk guys going and groping girls. There was a guy that got raped too here. A deaf younger man.
What surprised me the most about what's going on there is that it's totally lawless.
One of the speakers said the solution is non-violent movement. No, my friends. Ultimately, bourgeoisie won't go without violent means. Revolution. We have the revolution, yes. Revolution that is led by working class. Long live revolution. Long live socialism.
night is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming.
There is a storm on the horizon, a time of hardship and pain. The war rages on. Global network remains strong, but we will not quit. There is no fate but what we make.